It's Wednesday. You know what that means. Hey, thanks for joining me today. It's Wednesday, October 20th. Here I am trying out a live recording again. So thanks for your patience as I get better at doing this thing live. But first, flame on. I want to thank everyone for hitting that like button, subscribing, sharing, all that awesome stuff. It does make a difference. And in fact, look at this new thing. Look at that. Live. I put up that little thing on the bottom. Isn't that fun? Oh man, technology, right? But today I want to talk about a couple of stories. The main story is I want to discuss the idea that the IRS is going to get your bank records. Maybe you've heard about this, about $600. You have more than $600 in your account and the IRS is going to know everything that comes in and out. Is that really what's going on? Well, I have an update for that, and that's the main story I want to talk about today. But I also have another couple stories to hit you with. One that the left is not talking about, and that's Jen Psaki's response to migrant children being flown around the country. I want to talk about something that the right is not talking about, and that's Representative Madison Cawthorn, who said that parents should raise their boys to be monsters. I wonder if he was being literal, right? And as it is Wednesday, I got an idea. It's not that big, but it's about a correlation between getting tattoos and being short-sighted. And lastly, I have a new segment called Good News. And in that, I have some good news for you, especially if you have student loans that you still haven't paid off. So you want to stick around for that. Now, one thing that I'm doing with this is I'm doing a number of videos or a number of topics. And if there's a topic you're just not interested in, you don't have to close the video. You can just skip to the next topic. Now on YouTube, it should be on the scroll bar, should show you where the next topic is. And if it's not there and on other platforms, you can just look in the description and I have time codes for each of the stories. So you can just go to the story that you're most interested in if you only want to check out one story. So thanks for that. But let's get to this first story. And here we go. Look at this. The IRS wants your bank records. Now, you may have heard about this, that one, if you have more than $600 in your account, they're going to turn over everything to the IRS, or maybe it's only things that are $600 or more. They're going to report that to the IRS. There's been an update. And let's get to the story. This is reported from the Washington Post, and it's been reprinted on MSN. Let's see if I can get my mouse to work. There we go. Here we are. Democrats to scale back Treasury IRS bank reporting plan amid GOP uproar. This is from a day ago. Senate Democrats on Tuesday will unveil a scaled-back version of the Biden administration proposal to crack down on wealthy tax cheats after conservative groups and the bank industry raised major privacy concerns, 3 people with knowledge of the coming announcement said. So initially, they were going to request records for any bank account with more than $600 in annual deposits or withdrawals. So that's essentially every single bank account that exists. Now, when this came out, I was pretty sure that they would start low and then they would raise it to something higher. That's often how people negotiate. You throw out a starting point and then you pull back from there to make it a little bit more acceptable. But after this backlash, which was totally, there should be backlash, the new proposal is, oh, no. It's only for accounts with more than $10,000 in annual deposits or withdrawals. Still, that's like basically everyone's account, right? But they haven't worked out all the details on that. I don't like this idea at all. This is not good. There should be a lot of pushback. And even at the $10,000 level, Who doesn't push $10,000 through their account in a year, right? Nobody, right? Try to live on $10,000. Good luck. I don't think you can. And, if this is all for finding billionaire tax cheats, you don't have to have it at $10,000. It could be $50,000, $100,000, maybe. I mean, I'm against it for any reason, but $10,000 is just insane. The weakening of the reporting requirements reflect Democrats' sensitivity to the increasingly explosive politics of the issue, as Republicans, conservative groups, and industry lobbyists attempted to label the initial proposal as representing a major expansion of snooping by the IRS into taxpayers' private information. That's because it is a major expansion of snooping. That's why they called it a major expansion of snooping, because that's exactly what it is. So now they've put it to $10,000. Now, the interesting thing about that, while it is an improvement, it's not much of an improvement because everybody rolls $10,000 through their account. This is not a single $10,000 expense. This is just, hey, do you have more than $10,000 coming through your account? Now, they said they've made an exception for your income, I guess, if you have direct deposit. But still, who doesn't have money roll through their account? Like, I don't know, everybody? So this is a way that the IRS can get a hold of records of any single person that they want to. Now, obviously, they're going to be overwhelmed. They can't do anything with it. But maybe you're someone that's speaking up. Maybe you're someone that's saying something against the IRS or the government or something like that. Well, now they've got ammunition to tie you up in court and make you explain all of your expenses. This is not a good thing at all. This is very bad. It is, of course, part of Build Back Better. And from what I've seen, anything that is Build Back Better is not better. It's Build Back Worse. But that brings me to someone that they that they might want to look at. That's Biden. That's the president himself. He has a pretty interesting story about what he does to avoid taxes. Okay, now this is from Yahoo. This was printed just last month. Biden may owe up to $500,000 in back taxes. Yeah. President Biden may have improperly avoided paying Medicare taxes before he took office and could owe the IRS up to $500,000, according to congressional research report. Joe Biden wants to raise taxes by $2.1 trillion while claiming the rich need to pay their fair share. But in 2017, multimillionaire Joe Biden skirted the payroll taxes, the very taxes that fund Medicare and Obamacare. All right. So what they did, Banks said, this is Representative Jim Banks, said the report indicated that Biden improperly used S corporations while he and the First Lady, Jill Biden, raked in over $13 million on speaking fees and book sales in 2017 and 2018 and counted less than $800,000 of it of actual salary that could be taxed for Medicare. So he's leading the charge to raise taxes, yet he himself was able to use a millionaire's loophole to avoid paying these taxes. Now, I don't think anyone is claiming that what he did was illegal, but what he did was against the spirit of the law, and this is something that if you are wealthy that you can do. You can create an S corp, you can say, oh, I have a business. My business is me speaking. And so when you pay me $1 million to speak, you're not actually paying me. You're paying my corporation. And then my corporation has expenses. And then I'm not going to pay Social Security Medicare taxes on that, and it's all a big game to get out of paying taxes. Joe Biden absolutely avoided paying $500,000 in taxes that he easily could have paid, and he got out of it by using some tricks. Yeah. But he wants to go after anyone that has more than 10 grand in their account or moves $10,000 through their account. They want access to those records. It's despicable. Absolutely despicable. I guess that's all I have on that story. But next I want to talk about Jen Psaki. Now, first of all, she's a fake redhead. Her hair is not red. I don't know why that bothers me so much, but someone with Irish descent, it does kind of bother me that someone's a fake redhead. But anyway, this story that she has, yesterday, she joked about the secret migrant kids' flights earlier. Then, okay, so here you go. I'm live, and I don't know what I was just saying. So I'll just chalk that up to trying to get better at doing this live. Here's the headline from the New York Post. Psaki jokes about secret migrant kids' flights earlier than you might like. Okay. The White House tried to make light Tuesday of the Post's exposing the secret nighttime flights that President Biden's administration is using to ferry unaccompanied migrant kids from the Texas border region, snarking to a reporter they were merely earlier than you might like. So here is the press conference. This is what she said. This is what she said.
Why is the administration flying thousands of migrants from the border to Florida and New York in the middle of the night?
Well, I'm not sure that it's in the middle of the night, but let me tell you what's happening here.
2:30
it is our
a.m., 4:29 a.m.
Well,
very early in the morning.
Here we are talking about early flights, earlier than you might like to take a flight. It is our legal responsibility to safely care for unaccompanied children until they can be swiftly unified with a parent or a vetted sponsor, and that's something we take seriously. We have a right.
Wow, just absolutely making light of what they were doing. Oh, it wasn't the middle of the night. It was 4:29. That was early. Again, not addressing the real question. Why are you hiding this? And something that struck me as really odd was that she said to their parent or approved or vetted caretaker. What does she mean by that? So it sounds to me like there's kids coming into this country and their parent isn't here. And they have some vetted caregiver. Why are kids coming to a place that their parents aren't? That strikes me as odd. I don't really understand that. Perhaps there's a reason for it. Perhaps you can explain to me why we're taking in migrant kids who are coming here away from their parents. That doesn't sound right to me. And that's a story that is not being covered at all in the left-wing media. I wonder why. But let's get to what the right wing is not talking about. And that is a story about Representative Madison Cawthorn. Now, I've never heard of this guy before, but apparently he is a representative from North Carolina. And in a recent speech, he said that society needs to try to de-masculate young men, urged a mother to raise a son to raise them to be a monster. So let's check out that video. Hang on. All right, let's play that video. Here we go. Hang on, I'm not sure what's happening here. Let's try it again. Play the video.
Our culture today is
All right.
culture
So
today
this
is
is
trying
part
to
of a-
completely demasculate all of the young men in our culture. I mean, you can look at the testosterone levels in young men today, and they are lower than throughout all of history. And there's a lot of reasons for this that we can get into later. But my friends, they're trying to demasculate the young men in this country because they don't want people who are going to stand up. And so I'm telling you, all of you moms here, the people who I said were the most vicious in our movement, if you are raising a young man, please raise them to be a monster.
So I think pretty much this is fake news. The left is complaining that the right is not looking into this story. They're like, can you believe this? He's saying to raise kids to be a monster. Raise your son to be a monster. And I don't think that's literal. You know, I don't think anyone thinks that that's literal. And to pretend like it is just being disingenuous or just being really, really stupid. So I think on this story, the left is either really disingenuous or really stupid. I'll leave that up for you to decide about that. But yeah, after stating that there are lots of reasons for declining testosterone levels, Cawthorn said they're trying to demasculate the young men in this country because they don't want people who are going to stand up. And I think that's a valid case. You know, if you don't want people to stand up, what you would do is you would encourage them to be people that follow the rules, people that stay in line, people that accept what the government tells them. Be a good automaton. That's what they want. And what they don't want is someone that's going to talk back, someone that's going to stand up. And I think that's what the congressman is talking about here. Raise your sons to stand up for what's right. I think it's a good thing. I don't think that he means anything negative by being a monster. I think monster in this case is just an example, a metaphor for being a man, if you will. Now, it is Wednesday. I don't really have a big idea for this Wednesday, but I do have an idea. This is something in psychology. I got this from Psychology Today. And think before you get inked. Tattoos, short-sightedness, and impulsivity. So here's the key points from this article. Widespread evidence of discrimination against tattooed people suggests that the choice to get visible tattoo may reflect short-sightedness. Researchers found that those with tattoos, especially visible ones, are more short-sighted and impulsive than those without visible tattoos. Evidence suggests that individuals who possess the trait of short-sightedness are more likely to get tattooed. Okay, so that's the thing with this study. There's a huge link between being impulsive and getting tattoos. And obviously, if you're impulsive, it doesn't mean that that's going to cause you to get a tattoo, right? When I was younger, nobody got tattoos other than sailors or like outlaw bikers, or if you were in the circus or something like, or if you were a felon. Outside of that, nobody had a tattoo. And the tattoos didn't look cool. They were really bad, you know, pin ink, pin art ink, whatever the term is. I don't know. I don't have any tattoos. But now it's trendy, and everybody and their mom seems to have a tattoo. Not very shocking. But in this study, what they did is they looked at different financial incentives. They did some tests, such as saying like, hey, if I give you $1 today or $1.25 tomorrow, which would you take? And what they found is that people that would say, no, I'll take the $1.25 tomorrow, those people tended to be less impulsive than the people that would just take, nah, just give me the buck. Those people were more impulsive, more likely to get tattoos. And it makes logical sense. I think you can probably not find a whole lot of fault with this study. They did find that there was a huge difference between the two, people that were not tattooed and people that were tattooed, and how responsible they were and how they were for managing their finances. So, for example, people without tattoos were more likely to pay their credit card bill on time than people with tattoos. So it doesn't mean that because you have a tattoo, you're not paying your credit card bill. It's just that the trend is the people that get lots of tattoos are more impulsive, less financially responsible than those people that don't. And I think that I think that we've probably all known this deep down, but to have a study go through and give lots of examples of this, I think, makes sense. People without tattoos consume less alcohol. They smoke fewer cigarettes. They're more socially responsible than people with lots of tattoos. Now, if you got lots of tattoos, knock yourself out. There's no judgment on that. But just understand the correlation between the two. Now, the one exception that they did find is they did not find a correlation between women that had a small hidden tattoo and a woman without a tattoo. They found very little difference between those two cases, but for everyone else, that was the case with getting tattoos. So if a man has any tattoo whatsoever, they are probably more impulsive than men without any tattoos at all. And I thought that was an interesting study. I'd like to know your thoughts on that as well. The last thing that I have today is a new thing. I'd like to end it with some good news. And so here is my segment on good news.
I could use some good news to pull me through.
Okay, there was an email that just came out, and the title of the email was Good News. And this was an email from the Education Department. Did you get one of those emails? It's really important to check to see if you did, because if you did, there might be some good news with that. Now, I didn't get it. I foolishly paid off all my student loans, right? So I don't have this opportunity. But it turns out that, but there may be more student loan forgiveness coming very soon. So let's go to the story on that. The Department of Education has started notifying student loan borrowers that they may be closer to getting their student loans eliminated under the Biden administration major expansion of student loan forgiveness program. On October 6th, the Biden administration announced that it will be enacting huge changes to public service loan forgiveness, a federal student loan forgiveness program that's long been plagued by problems including complicated eligibility requirements and low approval rates. The program has traditionally required 120 qualifying payments to obtain loan forgiveness, but payments are often rejected on technical grounds. So they're going to have some waivers for this program so that it may be possible that you can get student loan forgiveness without all of those payments. Perhaps we'll have to see. I don't know if that's the case or not. But if that's true, if you can get out of student loan debt, I think it's worth giving a shot. And check your email, see if you got something called good news from the Education Department. And if so, apply for it and see if you can get your student loans forgiven. That would be a fantastic thing for you and the future and your family. get out from under that. It feels fantastic not to be in debt. Just to have that weight lifted off your shoulder is fantastic. And I hope that someone that watches this video is able to get that done, because that would be that'd be good news for everyone. So thank you for watching this to the end. I know that I will get better at doing this live, recording this live, being able to put together a better show. The only way to get better at it is to do it. And so I appreciate you encouraging me while I get better at this. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I hope you have an awesome day. Peace.